Hey guys, welcome back here to my channel, and today to another part here of my Mack hypercoaster build, where I'm trying to create my own version of a Mack hypercoaster. Mack is the German roller coaster manufacturer that makes some great rides, and I just really wanted to build something in the style of one of their products and really try and capture the style and the essence of one of their hypercoasters. And I really wanted to focus on all those little details at making this look as realistic as possible. So today I'm actually going to go in and work on the transfer track, the brake run area, the exit, the station, and the maintenance shed, which is all located in the same area here down at the corner of the map that I've given myself. And I'm just going to start off here with doing the transfer track area. Now, I'm not really too familiar with building transfer tracks for Mack coasters. I've done so many B&M ones that I can kind of build one of those off by heart, and it would look somewhat like a real B&M transfer track. B&M is a Swiss manufacturer, do some great rides as well. The Mack transfer track areas, I had to have a little Google and have a look and see how they were, and they were a little bit different, so I'm going to try and capture that. Now, they have these kind of big concrete slabs on the floor, and generally I found that the transfer track areas were quite low to the ground. Mine's a little bit more raised, so to get around that, I'm actually going to raise up the concrete slabs there to make them a little bit higher. So that's how I'm going to get around that. I'm just adding in these I-beams on the bottom of the actual transfer track part that will actually move, just to give it some extra support. That's kind of how it looked like in real life on the pictures that I saw. I've just raised that up there. I'm going to make this into a platform, so actually I'm going to delete some of those bigger concrete slabs and make this more of like a platform. I'm going to add some stairs on the back of it as well, so that maintenance could actually easily step up onto it and do whatever they needed to do. So yeah, generally I find the back of things that the guests can't see, I build using the iron wall piece, or like the corrugated iron, and all the parts where any guest could actually see it from the queue line or from the ride, I use like themed walls. So here I've got this nice sandy brick. I wouldn't generally do the sandy brick around the whole building, because I feel like that wouldn't be like that in real life. Many transfer areas on some rides definitely have themed fronts or facades where the guests can see and they think, wow, that looks really cool. But actually from the back, it doesn't look anything like that at all. It generally is like a steel shed. So yeah, and like I have worked in a theme park for a short time, and I do kind of have seen these type of things where you're backstage and you do see what the parts of the buildings that the guests don't see, and they are just concrete or steel boxes, and on the fronts of them are these grand facades that look really interesting from the guest perspective. So to do the transfer track and the actual maintenance track itself, I'm just building another section of roller coaster, and then you just delete the track you don't want, and that gives you two little areas to store some trains on. So I've just done that, and obviously I need to cover this up. Now this, I didn't quite do the proportions quite correct, and I didn't actually leave enough space for the trains to actually go in under the roof. So I do actually edit that off camera. I'm going to show you at the end of this video anyway, but the whole principle of this kind of maintenance shed is what I'm showing you now. I just had to extend it upwards a little bit, but I didn't want the roof to be too pointy and large. I wanted to keep it relatively flat but still at a slight slant, and I'm going to try and hide that a little bit around the edges with some kind of uneven walls and stones. And obviously, like I did say in the last episode, thanks to a comment here on one of my previous videos, I did go with the Egyptian theme, which was a really cool recommendation, and it really sparked some inspiration within me when building this. So this video today is actually really the start of me exploring this Egyptian theme and adding pieces in and trying to come up with a way of interpreting like a Egyptian theme throughout this ride or attraction. And starting off here with the maintenance shed, of course, I've kind of done like these stony rock areas with these nice sandy brick walls, and I think it's working out pretty well. I didn't want to do anything too crazy, like I just wanted it to really be that the focus on this is the coaster and the details, and I wanted to give it like a light theme, nothing too crazy. One of my favorite roller coasters is Monte at Busch Gardens. I absolutely love invert coasters anyway, and that one is just sensational, and I really love the Egyptian theme it has as well. The way it dips in and out of these sandy trenches, and it has a few like sandy brick walls and everything that it does some near misses with, and the buildings and stuff. Nothing is crazy themed, but it's very well themed, and yeah, it's not like anything that you would find at like Phantasialand or anything like that, which I think is just super immersive. But I really do like the themed areas in Busch Gardens. But yeah, it's that kind of Egyptian theme I'm going for, like a light Egyptian kind of thing going on. I'm talking about this way too much, but yeah, so anyway, I've added like a little a sign on the front there of the building, which is the name of the ride, which is the Egyptian god of air and wind, I think that's what it was, which is very fitting because I have that nice blue track, and as the track gets higher up in height, the track actually changes color into these more kind of lighter gradients of blue and white. So that was a really cool name. It fits what I've done very, very well. Wanted to do a nice logo there on the sides. I've slapped it on there. And yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. I'm trying to keep the colors. We've got the blue track, sandy, kind of yellowy supports, and then I've got the sign in a brighter yellow, and then doing like a blue and a turquoise. I think it ties in quite nicely. The trains at the moment are actually bright orange. So I'm wondering whether I should change the actual letters from the yellow to orange to match the trains, but I'm going to figure that out as I go along. Just put a fence in there so to block off any guests from going to like where a staff member could go, maybe to the back of the maintenance shed. So I think that worked out quite nicely. And this part here where I've just put those stones and left the gap where the path is actually the exit for the ride. So the guests will come out, and then this is where they'll lead back out into the plaza area, which I haven't designed yet. I haven't really got an idea of how I'm going to do it, but I will figure that out over the next few days. Because I really want to crack on with doing this whole plaza area and have a really cool kind of marquee for the ride where you would kind of walk up towards a huge sign in front of the coaster, something similar to Fury 325. I love the way they have those big signs out the front. Another one I can think of as well is Banshee at King Islands that has a cool sign as well. So I want to do something like that, and then a nice entrance to the ride. So I need to think about what I'm going to do for the entrance to make it stand out and make it tie in with what I've already done. But I'm really loving this little section that I've been working on. I just need to change the color of the pathing just ever so slightly because it was a little bit too similar to the sandy color from the sand terra painting, and I wanted a bit more of a contrast. So I just darkened it up a little bit so it's not too similar. Otherwise it was all becoming a little bit too kind of sandy yellow over there, and I didn't want that too much. Now I'm just kind of fencing off the exit path as well, and also putting some extra fences on top of the stone fence so that the guests can't exit or entrance, any areas where the track is actually low down and where a guest could be injured. All these type of details I do think of when building to try and make it as realistic as possible. And of course, for any kind of health and safety reasons, there would normally be like a roof underneath any track that passes over the top of the path, just to stop anything from the like any items falling out of a guest pocket on the ride down below, or anybody from the actual path itself reaching up and being able to touch a part of the track that a train might be rolling over. So I always put like a roof underneath those sections where there's path and track, just for extra safety and for extra detail. These are the kind of things as well that I like to look out for and add into my builds. So that's looking really, really cool there. I'm really enjoying that. We've got the nice transfer track here. We've got the actual maintenance building there as well. I'm just adding a door on there, and I'm going to try and connect that up around the back and make like a little staff path. And now I'm just focusing on the actual station itself for the ride. Unfortunately, while I was filming the build for the actual station, my camera cut out and I didn't realize, and I continued building. So I have actually lost all that footage that I thought I had taken. But I'll show you a little bit of the build, and then I'm going to go into a real time. But we have a nice cool fence here. Tried to make it a little bit more custom by adding this like square and this little like fan kind of shape piece there on the front, which looks really cool, very Egyptian I thought. And then yeah, I'm just going to do a roof. Now I know that normally we say you should stay away from doing squared stations, and this is as square as they get, like it's just a rectangle, but I try and make it a little bit more interesting. I do like a solid back on it, and we've got the front of it is open. I'm going to go into a real time, like I said, just in a minute to show you that. But I've done some like cool queue gates and everything, which I'll show you again in a second. I just wanted to like have the back closed off so that the guests can't see out the back and see any of like the backstage areas that would be on that side, and then the front of it being open where the guests would actually enter and get onto the train. And I want to do like nice beams and everything inside the station as well, and have all those nice details. This is how it turned out. I really like it. It is quite boxy and square, but actually some stations are. If you look at Pantheon at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, that's the most boring basic square station ever, and it has like a very light Greek theme. But yeah, here we go. Here's how it looks. I like the color of the roof. I tried to pick a different tone that matches in with the rest of the colors, but it's not the same as the blue that are covering up the paths. We got the entrance gates there, the air gates I should say, and I put like a little circle on the floor where the guests would stand and line up before entering the actual train itself. And then, yeah, I like it. I think it looks really cool. I like the way the track comes out. We've got the support there at the bottom, supporting the lift hill support. I did put a door here at the back that connects like a staff area from the actual transfer track area. And I've added in all these crates on around as well, just for extra theming. I think it, you know, if in doubt, add a barrel, add a crate, add a bush, and it will help what you're doing. And I've done exactly that here, added some crates. I did do some bins in the back of the station there where you can store baggage or bottles and stuff. And I did all the different bottles and bags on that on there. You can't see these details because of the roof, but they are in there. And then I've just covered up the part of the queue line here with some cool canopies. I need to do the rest of that queue line. I need to dress it up, add some theming. This whole plaza area needs to be fixed, sorted out. The bit in the middle there with the circles is where I'm thinking of doing the marquee, but I need to change that. Added the catwalks here on the brake run as well, and I did do all the custom supports here as well for the final two like bunny heels into the brake run. But that is how that area is looking. I think it looks really cool. I'm really excited with this project and the direction that it's going in. I can't wait to get stuck into it and do a little bit more. It is taking a little bit more time. And unfortunately, I don't have as much time at the moment as well to do other projects and builds and also build for my own monthly challenge. I'm really struggling with time, but I'm doing what I can. And I really appreciate all your support in watching and giving my videos likes and subscribes. Here's a little look at nighttime. I did add some kind of fiery lanterns and stuff, but it's not quite finished yet. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. A big shout out to my Patreons, and I'll see you all next time here on my channel for another video. Bye.